Hey guys, thanks for tuning in. I'm creating this video today because I've gotten several requests from fellow filmmakers and friends as to how to accessorize the DSLR to optimize it for filming. And as we all know, this can get very expensive, buying accessories for your DSLR and for your camera that can range from anywhere from $500 upwards. And so in this video, I will be showing you some of my products and some of my tips that I've used to boost my production value to that much higher without spending too much money. It's on a low, not a low budget, but a lower budget than what people would normally spend on these types of equipment. So I'll just be showing you some of the products I've gotten. Have really helped with that. And so yeah, stay tuned and we'll get right to it. Before I go on, I'd just like to remind those watching that I am in no way, shape, or form a degree-holding professional. In fact, I'm a teenager in New York City who just has an aspiration to make films. So nothing that I say is completely professional or anything that may be, industry standard. I'm just creating this video again to help those who may be wondering what options are out there for creating films on a low budget. So before I begin, I'd just like to mention that the budget that I use for all this equipment has been somewhere roughly below $500, So yeah, if you can just save up $500, you'll be able to get most of this equipment on your own as well, and really bring up your production value. So yeah, let's get started. So if you have a DSLR, you're shooting. I have a Canon 60D here with 28 to 135mm lens, and after you start shooting for a while, you realize that your image may be great, but your sound is pretty crappy compared to what it could be. So the first thing that I did when I first got my DSLR was to buy Sennnheiser MKE 300 shotgun, I think that's what it's called, which is actually what I'm using right now on my other DSLR to record sound. So yeah, that's the first thing I got to record sound, and that does much better for you than the onboard mic that's on here on these DSLRs. Just be reminded that these aren't meant to be video recording cameras; they're actually cameras for photos. So they're not going to be optimized to record sound the way they should be. So, accessorizing DSLR is very important to get, valuable video out of your DSLR. So after I got the Sennnheiser MKE 300, which goes for about, I don't know, 100 maybe on Amazon, I'm not too sure, just double check that. I realized that, when I was recording interviews or just anything that requires more direct sound, that the MKE 300 did a good job, but it wasn't as clear as I wanted it to be. And after some trial and error, I realized that when recording audio, especially with people, you want the voice or the source to be higher than any of the background noise. Otherwise, when you go into post and you just raise the volume or lower it, it's not going to be as clear and as direct as you wanted it to be. So in order to do that, I realized I need to get a shotgun condenser microphone. And as you know, there's a bunch of condenser shotgun microphones out there on Amazon, but of course they're all very expensive. So after some research and after some going through Amazon, I came to see the VidPro XM55 shotgun microphone. Now this microphone performs really well for me, but with some additions or exceptions. So this microphone, it's a kit. It comes with 13 pieces, but really, as you can imagine, since it's only about $100 on Amazon, those things aren't very, they're not very good. So really, the only thing I've used from this kit is the shotgun condenser mic itself, which is it's okay quality. The build is okay quality, and it gets the job done for me as a professional. And with some exceptions and additions, you can get really great audio out of this. So from the kit, the only things I really do use are the wind muff and the foam muff. So those are really the only two things I use. And it does come with a shock mount, which I do use sometimes. What you do is just place it right through there, and put it to wherever you want to, like your camera, on the hot shoe or on a boom mic or any kind of thing like that. So when you first purchase this mic, you'll realize that the first thing you do need are some cables. It does come with a cable. Well, it comes with a bunch of cables actually, but they're all very flimsy, as you can imagine. So what you do need to buy, if you don't already have one, is an XLR cable. and that's industry standard, XLR cables for microphones into your source. So that's what I did. I got an XLR cable, simple XLR cable, and because it has an XLR output, you just put the female to the male, and then you plug in the other end to your source. And you may be wondering, with a DSLR like the 60D, there is no XLR input. So what you would need to do is to buy either a sound recorder or an input that you may want that you would record separately. But what I did at first, before I got my sound recorder, was to buy an XLR to 1/8 input. And what this allows you to do is to take the XLR output right here and plug the other end into your DSLR on the mic input as such. And then take the shotgun and put it right through the DSLR, and there you have it. That's how I used to record sound for some time. And this is great for location, for like ambient shots, or just for regular shooting where you'd want a farther distance than the Sennnheiser MKE 300 would give you. And then you'd put the the wind muff on it, or the film muff. And this does okay for some time. And one thing I want to remind you of is that this is phantom powered. And what that means is that the microphone powers itself. So you have to be careful of that. If it's not phantom powered, then when you plug it into your DSLR, you won't get any sound because the microphone needs a power source. But this does have a power source. It has a 1 AA battery, which lasts quite a while. I actually got this about 4 months ago, and it's still the same battery that's been in there ever since. So it does really well in that end. So this is phantom powered. So when you plug it in, it's already on, and you're good to go. The next thing I want to talk about is purchasing an audio recorder for your microphone. Now, what I realized with this microphone is that this microphone alone is what you get for your money. So you paid $100 for it, and that's what you're going to get with this microphone alone. However, I realized that with an addition of an accessory, this microphone turned into something completely different. The sound was completely different than I've ever gotten from this microphone, and that was with the Zoom H1 recorder. Now, the really popular one is the Zoom H4n, which a lot of professionals do get. But again, as an independent filmmaker with a really low budget, I wasn't going to be able to afford a 200 plus sound recorder with things that I quite honestly didn't even know what they were, like 4-channel mixing at the time. I didn't really know what that was. But the Zoom H1 is a really good alternative for those who are just starting out, or those who want this really great audio for a low price. This supports stereo recording, so that's two-channel recording, and it allows for monitoring, which is what I'm going to get to in a second. So the Zoom H1 is a wonderful addition to this setup I have in front of me right here. And that is so because what it allows me to do is to now take this input that I had to my DSLR and plug it to the line in on the H1. There we are. And what I'm now able to do that I wasn't able to do with my DSLR, with my Canon 60D, is to monitor the sound. And so what I can do is I can take some headphones, put them on, and plug it into the output of the Zoom H1. And there you have it. Quality sound monitoring for a low price. Of course, the headphones aren't part of the budget, but any headphone will do. That's over ear, really. So this setup that you see here has completely changed the way that I've produced my films. The sound is so much better because I can monitor the sound with the Zoom H1. That is, I can turn it on, and depending on how loud it is or who's speaking, I can dial in the right input level for the sound and monitor it at the same time, so I can hear what's constantly going on, so that when I get to post, I'm not surprised with the way it sounds in the computer. However, when I do get to post, I can then even make the sound better by playing around with the EQs. What I like to call it, this thing records what I like to call flat. So when I take it into post, I usually like to I like to raise the lower frequencies and also raise the higher frequencies just to accent the like the S's and T's a little more, so that it doesn't sound muffled. And with that, you'll see that it sounds phenomenal compared to just the sound from a DSLR or even the sound from the Sennheiser alone. It really does provide great sound. Now, what you may see here is a lot of wires. This may seem like a lot of wires to you, but when you're doing some event shoots and you have someone holding the mic that may be standing far away, it may be a benefit. But if you're just doing some pretty close edit, some really close shooting, it might become a little cumbersome. The great part is you can use the XLR to 1/4 cable here, which goes for about $10 on Amazon, as your input only. Here is I have a 10-foot cable. They come in all different sizes, but I decided to get the 10-foot one, and you can see it's rubber banded up. But if you have this directly from the VidPro microphone here, you can plug this directly into the Zoom H1, and you can see with this configuration, it deletes all of this XLR cables that you may have. But again, if you're outside or like in a field and you want like a tougher material, it's better to use the XLR cable into the converter, this cable here, into the Zoom H1. It may sound a little cumbersome, but this workaround will save you a lot of money than buying the Zoom H4n that has XLR inputs. Whatever your budget requires is what you can go for. But for me, this was what I could afford, and it works great. I'm going to show an example now of how this mic performs in really windy conditions with the Zoom H1 and this wind muff. I was blown away as to how well it worked with the setup. I was surprised. I was not expecting this type of result at all.
My name is Christopher Whedon. My artist name is Smurfo1, or Smurf for You Dirty. I'm hailing out of Brooklyn, New York, Fort Greene originally, Bed-Stuy for the last decade or so. Smurfo is this kid from Brooklyn that went to camp on the Lower East Side for 3 years.
So the next thing you might want to get for your DSLR that a lot of filmmakers get is a DSLR rig. As you saw before, you may start accumulating a lot of DSLR on-camera accessories, and it becomes hard at a certain point to just use one hot shoe mount to put everything on. And so there are a bunch of rigs out there, a bunch of really cool ones, a bunch of really crappy ones, and I found one that was really great for what I needed it to be, and that is the, I don't know how you pronounce it, but I guess the ALZO video transformer rig. And this is also for $100. I guess that's the lucky number. $100 rig that's on Amazon, and it is amazing for what you need to do. It is very sturdy. You can buy another handle so you can get some low shots, but it's very sturdy and very easy to put together out of the box. So, and it also comes with a little hole here so that when you do have the camera in the rig, you can reach the battery and the SD card with ease. So I'm just going to put this on so you can see what it looks like. And there you have it. This is the camera rig, and it's very easy to control, very easy to hold. It's very safe, very trustworthy. I hold this thing like loosely all the time and it stays still. This is great for me because it has 3 cold shoe mounts, and that's really helpful for when you start getting a lot of equipment that you need on the camera. So I'll just show you how that is. So with the VidPro XM55 mic that I showed you before, you can just put that right on there as your main accessory. And usually I have my Sennnheiser shotgun in this position, and this is usually somewhere further towards the subject or out wherever it should be. So I'll just put this up over here just to show where it would be. So you can have that there, and say you have another piece of accessory such as a video light, and I have here the Sunpak 30 LED video light, which is great for when you're shooting in low light scenes like an indoor, like for like a wedding or something. this is a really great light to get. And so what I do is I just put it through here, through the rig, and screw it down. And there you are, already 2 pieces of accessories on the rig. And of course, you would also want to have your sound recorder with you. Now I don't have the adapter with me right now, but where this would usually go somewhere here, towards me. I'd have the headphones on while I'm at a location shoot indoors or something, and that's how it generally works. That's how my setup generally is. And yeah, so that's there, and I turn this on. Just lower that a little bit. And the thing I love about this rig is that it's completely you can attach anything. There's also 1/4 screws here, so you can attach other things through it. And you can also twist this light in whichever direction you need the light to be pointed towards, and the rig still stays together. So that's one great benefit. And so yeah, that's the ALZO transformer rig. It is a really good rig to get, and I do recommend it. Now, one vital accessory that people often tend to overlook is the tripod. For the longest time, I had a really cheap $20 plastic tripod that I got from the internet somewhere. And I realized after some time that it's time for me to upgrade my tripod. And upgrading your tripod to, I guess, more of a standard level video tripod will completely change the way your films come out. You'll get less shaky images, and you just get a much better feel to your video. So as we all know, there's a bunch of tripods out there, and the most sought for is the Manfrotto, however you say it, tripods, which I have used, and they're very, very nice, obviously, but they are also quite expensive. And so what I was looking for in a tripod really was a fluid head tripod that was heavy duty and would be able to support the weight of something as heavy as this. This is about maybe, I'd say 5 pounds, 6 pounds at most. So something that'd be able to support this, because your regular plastic tripod would completely just not work with this. So what I did get was the Francier Studio fluid head tripod. Now this tripod is just completely amazing for the price that it goes for. I think it goes for like $120 on Amazon, but it is well worth your money because it comes with everything you need. It comes with trying to get this here, a quick release plate, which is very, very vital, especially when you have rigs like these. You just attach the quick release plate to the bottom of the transformer. I mean to the rig here. And when you do that, I'll just do that really quickly. What you do get then is really easy access to your tripod. So you can just put this here, slide this right onto the tripod, and there you go. Really, really fast installment for anything you may need to do with your tripod. Another benefit of this tripod here is that it is a fluid head tripod. So if I just extend the arm here, you can see that it is, well, maybe you may not be able to see, but it's very fluid. You can adjust the tension here. So for horizontal and for even vertical shots, it is a very, very fluid movement, which is very hard to find. It took me a while to find this, but after some long research, I was able to find this tripod, and it is just amazing. And another benefit of this tripod is the sturdiness of it. It is very sturdy. It locks into place once you extend the legs there, and it comes with these locks here, so you can just extend these legs, and it gets to a pretty tall height, as well with the head extension here. So it's a really versatile tripod. You can also change the leg angles, so you can have it at that angle, which is about maybe 45, and at that angle, which is about really close to 180, maybe like 170. Or 90 degree from at least from here. So you can get really low to the ground and really dynamic shots with this tripod. And one last benefit of it is that the head actually comes off, which once I figure that out, there we are. So if I twist this off, it actually comes off. What that lets me do is to take this fluid tripod head, and use it on things such as a glider. I have a Optica glider, or Optica, however you say it. And what I can do is I can just put this right onto the glider, and it glides smoothly across with the fluid head. That allows for very dynamic shots. And also, you can put things onto the tripod here with this, I forget what size, but this is also a screw. You can put things such as the slider right on top of this tripod here, so you can have it right here, and have this on top with the rig, or your camera, because that might get too heavy, and just slide it right across and get some really, really cool looking images. And it also comes with this this handle here, which you can change lengths. Gets pretty long for if you may have larger cameras that require more, I guess, torque. And you can also change it from the left, at least from this side to this side. So my right to the left for those who are left-handed, or for those who are right-handed. And you can also purchase a second hand for those who want two hands for added power, I guess. You can get two handles here, so you can move the head with two hands, which is, I guess, more professional. So yeah, that's this tripod, and I will have the links to all these products in the description. And so I think that's pretty much all I have for you guys today. So having all these things that I've showed you today will really, really, really boost your production value. It did for me, and I hope it does the same for you. And one final thing that I'd just like to put out there for those who may be wondering, because a lot of people ask me, how do you edit? Do you edit with headphones, or do you edit with your computer speakers? And I see a lot of people editing with headphones, which is for me, you know, it's fine. That's great. You can really hear what's going on. But a lot of the time, you kind of want to experience what your viewers are also experiencing. So I like to edit on monitors or speakers, so I can really hear or feel, should I say, the sound that's coming out of the film. So a lot of people ask me, okay, what are some good monitors, or so what are some good speakers that you use? And I actually use the Logitech 7-speaker surround sound speaker system. They are computer speakers, but they work extremely well, especially for when I'm editing films, because it provides surround sound, which you may want to look into for your films, you know, configuring your channels to have surround sound. And it does really well because it has a great subwoofer, which allows me to hear a lot of the rumbles and booms and LFE impacts that may be in the film. So it really does provide a great cinematic environment for editing sound. So I do recommend it. Again, it's the Logitech 7-speaker system. I forget what it's called exactly, but I will have the link in the description. So that pretty much wraps up my video here. I've showed you some of the equipment that I have that really helps me increase my production value by that much. And it really takes getting used to all these products, getting used to managing them, getting used to knowing how to set them for your specific environment or your shoot. And once you do learn how to do that, you realize that, you know, having these products, while they're not the expensive ones, they really do boost your production value by that much if they're used correctly and accordingly. So if you can just find a way to save up $500 roughly, you'll be able to purchase all these products and use them correctly, and you'll see that it really, really does help in the end. So yeah, if you have any questions or comments or concerns, please comment below, or you can send me a message right in my inbox. So yeah, thanks for watching, and have a great day.